Take two. Well, welcome back to the 5 Red Lights YouTube channel. Today, let's talk about the best whiskeys of 2024. First up on my list is the budget bottle for 2024, and that I will give to Early Times Bottled in Bond. This is a wonderful whiskey that is super complex, easy to drink. I drink it neat on ice in cocktails. It's fantastic. It's really a shame that this is going to go away for a few months as the distillates are switching from brown form into Sazerac. But if you can find some now, get it. Next up on my list is budget foolproof or cask strength bottle, and that I'm going to give to Green River Foolproof. This was a bottle that I picked up relatively late in the year, probably late in the game too. But wow, what a fantastic bottle this is. For under $60, mine is what, 117.3 proof. It's ton of flavor, sweet, nice rye spice, really wonderful, wonderful, wonderful whiskey. Next up is best store pick for 2024. Now, I say store pick, but really the pick that I have is the Nancy Fraley pick from October 2024 for the Still Austin cask strength single barrel. Now this is one of my most prized collections. This whiskey is beautiful, it's delicious. And if you're new to this channel, you know that I also talk about Formula One, and this bottle really represents to me my first time ever actually going to a Formula One race. We went to the race in Austin this year, 2024, and I went and picked this bottle up at the distillery the day before we went to the race. It's just delicious. Tons of dark fruits, cherry, chocolate, some leather. Now you probably won't be able to get this bottle, but anything that Nancy Fraley picks is probably going to be fantastic. Next up for me is the best rye of 2024, and for that I have chosen Redwood Empire Emerald Giant Cask Strength. Now this is a rye that probably isn't talked about as much in the circles on WhiskeyTube, but really just wonderful. It is mostly a rye mash bill. I think it's like 95%, 94% rye, 5% malted barley, and 1% wheat. This is just a really beautiful, really wonderful whiskey. Kind of polarizing as it's not distilled by Redwood Empire, but what they do with this whiskey is just delightful and really wonderful. I enjoy this on ice, neat, also in cocktails. This makes a really, really wonderful old-fashioned. A dessert whiskey for me is a whiskey that I can enjoy at the end of the night. Despite what I may have had earlier in the night, whatever proof those drinks may have been, this whiskey will stand out. And for that I've chosen Penelope Rio. This is a honey and amberana cask finished bourbon, 98 proof. It is really just, oh man, just the smell of this is just cream cheese frosting, really just phenomenal. I know amberana finishes are pretty polarizing. I tend to like them. Between this one and the RD1 Amberana, they're my two favorite amberana finished whiskeys for the year, but this, for sure, best dessert whiskey of 2024. Next category for me is best double oaked product for the year, and for me, that is the double oaked bourbon from Peerless. This is a really wonderful, super rich, viscous, nice oak char, tons of vanilla, toasted marshmallows. The biggest gripe that I have with Peerless is the pricing model. It doesn't seem that there's really consistent prices with Peerless products throughout the market. I got mine here in the Little Rock area for around $85. I think that's pretty much what I would be willing to pay for it, but really still, this is a wonderful bourbon and best double oak for 2024 for me. Next up for me is the most disappointing whiskey for 2024, and unfortunately that has to be Old Grandad 16 year. Now I'm a huge fan of Old Grandad 114, probably is the best budget bourbon of every year for most people, but this I was really looking forward to, but it's expensive, it's really limited. Unfortunately for me, when I smell this whiskey, the main note that I get is Sharpie. Long aging process. 16 years in an oak barrel can do some funny things to a whiskey. Sometimes it really gives nice sweet oak taste. For me, it gets a lot of the bitter oak and Sharpie notes that I really don't seem to enjoy. It's not all bad, it's just not worth the hype. Now, most interesting and most surprising whiskey for me for this year was Garrison Brothers Guadalupe. Now, this is a 2023 release. I got this year, so I'm putting it in this year's list. This is just a wonderful whiskey, finished in port barrels for 2 years, 107 proof. It is just rich, like chocolate, cherry. I get a saddle leather note, which may seem a little bit unappealing, but honestly for this whiskey, it is super, super complex. This is definitely something that I go to on occasion. This is probably one of the pours that I would have at the end of the night, as after I drink this, I can't taste anything else. But this bottle, Guadalupe from Garrison Brothers, most interesting bottle for 2024. And the last category for this year is best whiskey of 2024. And that can go to none other than the Russell Reserve 15 year. Now, this is a wonderfully complex and delicious whiskey. It is unfortunately extremely hard to get and way expensive, but it is still the most special whiskey that I have purchased in all of 2024, coming at $250 MSRP, but really, truly, you're spending probably $400 to $600 for a bottle of this at this point. It is really just all those classic wild turkey notes, but amped up to a million. Chocolate, cherries, wood tannins. Oh, just super complex, but classic. This is definitely deserving to be on the top list for pretty much everybody, and I would definitely buy another bottle if I could find it for less than $500. Those are my best and most disappointing whiskeys for 2024. Let's have a great holiday season and have a happy new year, you all. Cheers.